Roll over. All right. Yeah, close enough, buddy. You know, you really put it. I'll give you an A for effort. No.
Wait a second.
Like,
Have you met my dog, buddy? Like, he doesn't get A's, okay?
it's like that, and that's why we have shop class,
Right.
or at least we used to.
Right. Well, we used to have shop class for the non-A students in sports, but now
Oh
we
God,
just,
sports.
everybody's an A student because if they're not, it offends them.
Even the athletes for some reason.
Right. Everybody's an A student now because if they're not, then they feel.
I mean, and even then, even if you're not an A student, if you're rich enough, you can just buy your way into
right,
college.
Yeah. As long as you don't get caught, because if you get caught, then you get in trouble.
Yeah, then it's kind of like a national fucking story for some reason.
Yeah. Who stole my oil pan?
Are you telling me we did all this and we don't have an oil pan? Buddy, put that ball away. You don't know where it's been.
Oh, it's been right here.
He knows exactly where it's been for every waking hour of its life.
Yeah, it's been right here, Tim.
Oh wow, he dropped it for a second to sniff something. Oh well, no, I have the ball. Sit.
Or if you throw it and then hide it behind your back,
Sit.
then he doesn't know where it's been.
Stay. Stay. Alright, you're a good dog. Go get it.
Go get it, buddy. Good boy.
Just.
You didn't say enough, like, you didn't have enough enthusiasm, so you didn't show enthusiasm getting it. You see how that works? Dogs feed off of your emotions.
It's like, alright, go get it, buddy. He's just like, oh. Well, okay then.
I guess.
I mean, since you asked so nicely.
Buddy.
Oh, did he just get your cigarette all slobbered? Oh, Kyle!
You know, he's got a smoking problem anyways. Like, Buddy smokes way too much as it is, so.
You should get him some rabbits so they can be friends. And by friends, I mean you can use the rabbits instead of a ball.
He finds rabbits by himself. Alright, what am I doing? Oh, right. Oil change.
Yeah, that's
that
kind of...
thing that we've been sitting here rambling about this whole time?
Yeah, that one thing.
What do I need? Like...
You're gonna have to edit the shit out of this video.
Yeah.
No. We'll mess around with it. We'll decide what's worth keeping or not.
I mean, we can always just fast forward through the boring bits.
Right.
I have the squeaky noises.
Yeah.
That's always best.
Yeah, just... Like, well, that's gonna sound terrible when that's fast forwarded.
Oh, you have no idea, Tim. I'm gonna haunt you with that as much as possible.
It's just gonna be fast forwarded noises, fast forwarded.
What do you want, another creeper?
Yeah.
For what?
To explode.
Show them where the drain plug is and whatnot on the bottom. Oh. I figure I'd show them drain plug, oil filter, and go from there. Because it is kind of a tutorial video, more or less.
I mean, kind of.
Yeah. Is there another creeper? Probably not, because I don't know what things around here.
Oh, creepers.
Look at that.
Creepers aren't necessarily nice.
That...
Creepers make everything easier.
Yeah, they're nice to have, but that doesn't mean they're nice.
Kyle is... Got a point there.
I mean, look at that creeper compared to yours. Would you call that nice?
Depends how it rolls, really. Yeah, leave fine. Rolls good at the moment.
How much battery do I got on this thing? Oh, it won't show me while I'm recording.
Kyle,
Awesome.
you want to come record the bottom of the car for a minute?
Oh, Tim's...
Nah, it's got more than 15%.
Okay, so go quickish. We're going underneath here. There's a flashlight. Give it to Tim. Apparently it leaks a little bit of oil. That's disappointing. We'll wait for Kyle to give you the flashlight. I'll have to investigate the oil leak later. I didn't need a flashlight, Tim did. Well, so we'll just do this. Alright. So here's the underside of it. Apparently I have a small oil leak. This is an inspection cover, and that's where it seems to be coming from, here and here. Yeah. Okay, I'm gonna grab a couple of rags too. And I think I need a bigger socket. I need a 19. Yeah.
This is another 19. And...
Booyah! Second guess. Not bad. So everybody, there's a 19 under here.
Rags.
What you got? in the convenient location of this massive ass oil filter.
Yeah, that's one way
Isn't it
of.
beautiful.
So girthy.
Alright, let's get the go and see how little of a mess we can make. That's the biggest thing. How little of a mess can you make with your oil change?
Yeah.
Oh, this is gonna be warm. This is gonna be really warm. Oh god. Oh god. That wasn't too bad. Huh. Sweet. Oh, it's kind of dark looking, but it's only like 1,000 over than what I would normally want to change it at. I'm changing it at like 4,200 right now. I normally change it at 3,000 because on the 7.3s, your oil goes through all your injectors and everything too, so you kind of want it really clean. One of these times I want to buy a new drain plug that has the magnet on the end. It's kind of nice to have. So, I guess while that's draining, it's got like 15 freaking quarts to drain, so I guess we'll just let that sit for a bit. Maybe we go have a small bonfire in the meantime.
Oh boy.
Alright, we'll roll out of here for now. Alright, well, let's get the quarts drain out of this thing.
And what were you doing that whole time, buddy? Nothing, of course.
Yeah, he's called a cheerleader for a reason. Keeps you company so you're not bored.
It's kind of hard to cheer when you have your mouth full.
Alright. We're gonna go waste time. Oh, it's gonna be all dark, sort of. Somebody else is starting to waste time. On second thought, we're gonna have to skip that idea. It is way too windy out here.
Yeah. It looks like it's done.
Alright, well then I need this monster is what we're gonna be using. Motorcraft, Ford brand, figures good enough. See, so 7.3 turbo diesel oil filter, and what 3.6?
3.6 Pentastar.
Jeep. You can literally fit that inside this little hole here. Like,
No.
That's what
Just
she
think.
said.
I mean, you with the edge. Because, like I said, the bottom of this filter's got a spinning thing on it, which is nice. Oh, apparently I decided to buy a K&N last time, not this time though. Pretty sure. Yep, it's spinning. Let's see how much oil comes out of this freaking thing. Oh, you.
Sit. Stay.
We'll let that do its thing for a minute here.
Okay.
Yeah, we'll let that do that for a minute. See if I can try and keep myself from getting covered completely.
Good boy. Read it.
It's still got a good trickle coming out of the oil, but I don't know. Personally, I don't let it all drain out just because
Oh,
if
that's
the oil's bad enough to let it all drain, like, you probably should change oil more often. Like, you get most of it out good enough.
you leave that light like that. That's
Yeah,
much
I
better.
had it on like that earlier, but I forgot to hit the button twice.
Read it, buddy.
Alright, good enough. We're getting oily anyways. Oh god.
Oh god.
I was doing so good! Oh, I was doing so good!
Oh
And
no.
I'm just covered. Oh, I am so unhappy right now. Alright, well, it's an oily oil change now. Jesus. I can't even... I don't have any traction to hold on to this oil filter when it comes off now.
We need wipes.
Oh god. There's just oil everywhere now.
Yeah.
This is normally much better.
We got
Oh my god.
an extra wipe right there. I was just on the outskirts of that. Fucking.
You know,
Buddy.
a little bit of oil on your ring here. It helps a little bit when you put it on. So you don't put it on there dry. You also want to make sure the old one is not still on here. You want to make sure that's metal, or you can see if it's still on your old filter. Because if you put another new one on there and the old O-ring is still on there, you're going to have a bad time. You're going to have a similar scenario what I just had, except, you know, all the time. Alright. A little bit of oil on there. Now my hands are nice and slippery, so I should be able to get just the right amount of torque on this oil filter now. Some people fill up the oil filter before they put it on. This one you could, but I don't think it does very much. Like every time you start an engine when it hasn't been running, it kind of runs dry for a second or two anyways. So what's an extra 5 seconds when you do it this way? Was that something you said back there, Kyle?
No.
Okay. Because if you got some 2 cents, I'm all for it. Alright, Buddy's got 2 cents, but not a lot of it. Okay. I don't know if that's tight enough.
If you could sell rocks for pennies, Buddy would have 2 cents.
My hands are a little too oily to put as much work on this as I'd like, so I think we're going to use 2 hands on it. Yeah, much happier with that. There we go. That's all you want your oil filters to be, is hand tight. This one's really fat and whatnot, so I did 2 hands tight, but if it's a hand-sized oil filter, hand tight's good to go. Oh. I was commenting that I wouldn't mind having a magnetic oil drain plug. Well, guess what? This one's magnetic. There was just no metal that came off of it. So, either the oil filter is doing a really good job, or the motor just isn't falling apart at all. Which I have a hard time believing because, you know, there's always wear and tear on a motor, but...
You gonna go inside?
Alright. Last time I did an oil change, the push crush washer thing, I replaced that. So I usually do them every other time depending on the condition. If you mushed them too far, then you want to replace it again, but this one looked like it was still good, so I'm not gonna mess around with it. There's a torque spec on these. I never use them usually. Just kind of snug and a little more, I guess. You don't want them vibrating out, but you don't want to, you know, mush the washer, strip out your oil drain plug, because then you're going to run into even more issues. Alright. Yeah, this inspection cover's got the oil coming out of it. I'll have to see what's going on with that later. I'm sure there's something up there. What is this one? That could be where the oil's coming from. Possibly. I don't know. That's another video, I suppose. This time I know for a certain that I put the drain plug back in, but I've done it before where you go to start filling and you forgot to do something, and then all of a sudden you're like, huh, 5 quarts in, it's still on the dipstick, and you're just like, I didn't do it on this, but I've done it before.
It's like, huh.
I'd be really mad if I put 15 quarts, $100 worth of oil in this thing and then forgot to put the drain plug in it.
A real man of the
people.
people.
Should we test my pouring skills, or should we get a funnel? It's got such
Did
a
you
nice nozzle on
did
it.
you say test your pouring skills?
My filling skills. Yeah, Phil, go back to the
Yeah, I got it.
Oh, he even left his bowl here. Ah, it's ours now.
Horn skills, filling skills, same thing, right?
Yeah, filling holes.
So I missed the G at the end there.
Filling holes, filling beans, you know.
So we've decided to go with the funnel.
I believe the funnel is the best course of action
What do you know?
On second thought.
because it's the safest course of action.
Oh.
If you don't want spills anywhere,
Live a little.
You want oil
Hey,
over
you know
your
what?
engine?
If you got oil over your engine, it ain't gonna rust.
Is that how it works?
Yeah.
No.
Yeah.
No, it's not.
What? Why not? Oily things don't rust. That's how that works.
Yeah, but it's just gonna burn.
Well, I mean, eventually. Then you just got to do another oil change.
Right.
All right. What I didn't get off of this, the oil filter will. Oh, I would have nailed that in my third try. I'm using 1030. But this truck's always had it. I bought full synthetic this time because it was $2 more than the conventional. Some people say don't ever switch between conventional, non-conventional. Like if you do one, always do that one. It's oil. I wouldn't mix the two. That's not something I'd recommend. I'm not entirely sure what would happen, but I'd rather not find out. But oil capacity on the 7.3 is 15 freaking quarts. Conveniently, these are 5-quart jugs. I'm only going to put 2 quarts in, or 2 10 quarts. These aren't gallons, so whatever they are. I'm going to put 2 of these in for now, check it, and if it's on the top of the stick, I'm going to run it because I want to fill up the oil filter. That thing's got probably almost 2 quarts capacity, so I don't want to overfill the engine. It's not pouring out the bottom of the motor, right? Because, swear to God.
Not from what I
It shouldn't. I didn't put the drain plug in, but I have done that before. Put your hand there, check the stick, still not on there, and you're like, huh? And then all of a sudden you get down from the vehicle, and you step in a puddle, and you realize there's a 10-foot radius oil puddle underneath the vehicle.
Oh God.
Yeah, because obviously you moved the drain pan. You just didn't put the fucking plug back in. Where we want to be, but 10 quarts gets it to the ad line, so we're nearby. So I think I can get away with putting another half of a jug in it, and then start it. And go from there. Also good to know you can burn through 5 quarts if your motor burns oil before you're really in trouble. That's what that means, right? It's at the ad line, so it's not out.
No.
Alright, when you come to start it, top left one's your oil gauge.
No, we're at 5%.
Top left one's your oil gauge. Let me borrow this. When you start it, you want to make sure that comes up within a couple of seconds. Right for the glow plugs. We're going to start it. Alright, shut it off. We're going to do that one more time. Just so it helps prime the oil filter. Should jump up. There it goes. Jumped up. Let it run for a second. And the oil filter should be full now. Give this back to Tim. And we'll go add the rest of the oil. Right where we want to be. Cool. And that's an oil change on 7.3. Good enough. Put my ear back out. Good to go.